Who are the three hormones? Yes, Veer. Sit down. Sit.
T3, T4 and TC.
T3, T4 and TCG. Out of this, which one is called as thyroxine?
T3.
T3. Sit. Wrong. T4 is called as thyroxine. So we are talking about the hormones of the thyroid. T3 and T4. Okay. Here T4. What is called T4? Thyroxine. है So let us talk about the functions of T3 and T4 together. Okay. Between T3 and T4, the T3 is considered to be a more active hormone because the cell shows the presence of more receptors for T3. Okay. T3, T4 has a lot of influence on carbohydrate, protein, and lipid metabolism. It influences your carbohydrate metabolism, lipid metabolism, and protein metabolism. It can bring about lipolysis and proteolysis, meaning it can break down the lipids to produce fatty acids. That is the meaning of the word lipolysis. Even for proteins, it can bring about proteolysis. That is the breakdown of proteins into amino acids. Okay. How does it influence the carbohydrate metabolism? It can bring about glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis. Have you heard this word before? Glycogenolysis. As you all know, lysis means breakdown. So here I have written the word glycogenolysis. So it means that it involves the breakdown of glycogen. So glycogen will be broken down into the monomeric units, that is glucose. So that is why it is called glycogenolysis. And another important thing is it can bring about gluconeogenesis. Now this word is going to come again and again in our book. Gluconeogenesis. Genesis means formation, synthesis. Neo means new. Gluco means glucose. So it is gluconeogenesis. मतलब बनाना नया ग्लूकोज. क्या बोला मैंने? बनाना नया ग्लूकोज. इसमें एक और वर्ड ऐड करेंगे. From non-carbohydrate sources. From whom बच्चों?
Non-carbohydrate sources.
So that is, who are these? Fatty acids and amino acids. Are they carbohydrates or non-carbohydrates?
Non-carbohydrates.
They can be changed into what, bachalo? Glucose. And that process is called as gluconeogenesis. Clear, everybody? Understood what is gluconeogenesis? It is the banana of naya glucose from non-carbohydrate sources. Barabar hai bachalo? What my point, everybody? So can I say that it is making glucose available to your body cells as a source of energy? It is making glucose available to your body cells as a source of energy. Do you agree with me? What do cells require for aerobic respiration? Glucose. Glucose undergoes oxidation. Oxidation, it uses oxygen, breaks down, produces ATP. You agree with me, everybody? So this is how it influences the metabolism of these three molecules. And T3, T4 influences the BMR of an individual. Okay? You know this BMR? बोलो ना, किसी को मालूम नहीं तो बोल सकते हैं जोर से. Yes? पीछे anybody? What is yes, sir? Basal metabolic rate. Other than that, body mass ratio. Who is saying body mass ratio? That's it. Body mass ratio. It is the basal metabolic rate. BMR is basal metabolic rate. Now, what is this metabolic rate or basal metabolic rate? Okay, you know every cell in order to produce energy has to break down glucose. मतलब हर एक सेल को एनर्जी के लिए किसको ब्रेक करना पड़ रहा है यहाँ पे? ग्लूकोज को. और ग्लूकोज को ब्रेक करने के लिए हम लोग क्या यूज कर रहे हैं? ऑक्सीजन यूज कर रहे हैं. बराबर है ना? सो कहने से एक घंटे में कितना ग्लूकोज ब्रेक डाउन हुआ, एक दिन में कितना हुआ, ये रेट ऑफ ग्लूकोज मेटाबॉलिज्म है. अरे मेरी बात समझ में कि अगर आपने मुझे पूछा सर एक दिन में कितना ग्लूकोज ब्रेक डाउन हुआ, तो मैं बोला आप मुझसे क्या पूछ रहे हो? मेटाबॉलिक रेट, कि इतने टाइम में कितना ग्लूकोज ब्रेक हो. ये पहला बेसिक पॉइंट समझ में आया. फिर 24 घंटों में, एक दिन में 24 घंटों में कौन सा टाइम ऐसा है आप मुझे बताइए कि आपका ग्लूकोज का ब्रेकडाउन एकदम मिनिमम है, जस्ट इनफ for your vital organs to survive, just enough for your brain, your heart, your lungs to survive. At night when you are sleeping, at that time your body is working on high glucose metabolism or very low glucose metabolism.
Very low.
अब बात समझ में आया? And that is your basal metabolic rate. So what is the basal metabolic rate? It is the rate of breakdown of glucose, just enough for your important organs to survive when your body is at absolute rest. समझा BMR का डेफिनेशन? क्या बोला मैंने? What is basal metabolic rate? It is the rate of breakdown of glucose, just enough for your vital organs to survive. I hope you got it. When your body is at absolute rest, and that happens in a 24-hour cycle when we are sleeping. At that time, your body is working on the basal metabolic rate. But as you get up and you go for a jog, go for jogging, is your body working on BMR or energy plus the BMR?
Energy plus the BMR.
So thyroxine helps in increasing your BMR. Thyroxine increases your basal metabolic rate. Understood this point? Thyroxine increases the basal metabolic rate. आया समझ में? सबको बेसल मेटाबॉलिक रेट समझ में आया? और थायरॉक्सिन बेसल मेटाबॉलिक रेट को क्या बढ़ा करता है? कम करता है कि बढ़ाता है? So can I indirectly say that thyroxine can influence your weight, body weight? It can help in body weight management. कैसे बच्चों लोग? अगर किसी इंडिविजुअल का BMR हाई होगा, अगर किसी इंसान का बेसल मेटाबॉलिक रेट ज्यादा होगा, तो उसकी वेट गेनिंग टेंडेंसी होगी कि वेट लूजिंग टेंडेंसी होगी? लाउडली
Losing.
क्यों लूजिंग बच्चों? क्यों जितना भी खाता है सब कुछ क्या होता है? ऑक्सीडाइज हो जाता है. क्योंकि स्लीप में भी उसका VMR क्या है, हाई है. Got my point? If you have those digital watches now which tell you your calories burned in sleep. Got my point? So if you have a high VMR as compared to somebody else, early in the morning you will feel very hungry and your calories burned will be more. You got my point? If you sleep for say 6 hours, which is enough for you at this age, not more than that, then you will see the calories that are burned. But sir, रात को तो कुछ हम लोगों ने कुछ काम नहीं किया, तुम सो रहे थे तभी भी क्या हो रहा था बच्चे लोग, ग्लूकोज का ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा था आपके वाइटल ऑर्गन्स को क्या करने के लिए, सर्वाइव करने के लिए. आया बात समझ में? और जिसका बीएमआर क्या होगा, लो होगा, उसका वेट लूज टेंडेंसी होगा, वेट गेन टेंडेंसी होगा, वेट गेन. सो लोअर द बीएमआर यू विल हैव अ मोर वेट गेनिंग टेंडेंसी. Did the class follow what I said? So that is how it helps in weight management. So sometimes you'll see that people suffering from a higher amount of thyroxine secretion. Even though they eat a lot, they'll not be able to gain weight. Genetically also you can have a high BMR, depending upon your race, your tribe and all that. Got my point? But if a patient suffers from hyperthyroidism, one of the symptoms is going to be what? His basal metabolic rate is going to be higher. Got my point? Then, another thing to note is, it can indirectly increase your heartbeat, cardiac output. You remember cardiac output? It can increase your cardiac output. How will it increase your cardiac output? Can anyone tell me? Cardiac output, how will it increase that? Yes, kids, can you tell me? How can it increase your cardiac output? Yes, Omkar, you think of a possible reason? ठीक है, that is of course cardiac output बढ़ाने के लिए क्या स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ही बढ़ाना पड़ेगा ना, नंबर ऑफ बीट्स बढ़ा, वो कैसे लिखे? It's an indirect effect. Try to understand. Yes?
For breakdown of glucose, we need more oxygen.
Very
For
good.
providing more oxygen to body heart.
Exactly. Very good. Okay. What she said is कि sir, it is increasing the BMR. BMR बढ़ा रहा है मतलब सेल का ऑक्सीजन कंजम्पशन बढ़ा रहा है कि कम कर रहा है? सेल को ऑक्सीजन कौन पहुंचाता है? ग्लूकोज, सॉरी ब्लड. ब्लड को पंप कौन करता है? तो हार्ट का स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्शन एंड नंबर ऑफ बीट्स क्या हो जाएंगी? तो कार्डियक आउटपुट विल इंक्रीज. ओके, सो हाउ डज इट इंक्रीज द कार्डियक आउटपुट? By increasing your basal metabolic rate. So is it a direct effect or an indirect effect?
Indirect.
Whereas adrenaline directly acts on your SA node and increases your heart rate. And thyroxine is doing it what? Indirectly. Did you get my point, everybody? So thyroxine increases the beats indirectly, whereas adrenaline increases it directly. Did you get this point, Bachalo? Yes or no? It also helps in red blood cell production, RBC production. RBC production is called what? Erythropoiesis. It helps in RBC formation. Okay? The red blood cell ka formation is also influenced by it. Then it also influences the maintenance of water and electrolyte balance. So can I say over here that it is also influencing your kidney functions? Hello, it is influencing what? Kidney functions, because it is helping to maintain the water and electrolyte balance. Other than that, the functions not mentioned in the NCERT text are: 1. Metamorphosis. Okay, you remember metamorphosis? You remember tadpole changes into a frog. That is called as metamorphosis. So who helps in metamorphosis? Thyroxine. Okay. We'll remember this point because in the old PYQs the question asked was very old PYQ, but you can correlate it. अगर कोई कभी ऐसा क्वेश्चन आया if a tadpole, you will answer, okay? Yeah. If a tadpole is kept in water without iodine, if a tadpole is kept in a water without iodine, it will slowly grow into a frog. It will quickly grow into a frog. Okay? It will not grow into a frog. What is your answer? Yes, dear. It will slowly grow into a frog. Okay. Anushka, what do you say? It will not grow into a frog. Why will it not grow into a frog, Bachelo? Because iodination of tyrosine results in the formation of T3 and T4. If iodine is not available for iodination, thyroxine production will not take place and the tadpole will remain as a tadpole. It will not change into a frog. So now everyone, it helps in what? Metamorphosis. Tisra, it helps in brain development. You remember a myelin sheath and uske formation. It also helps in gonadal development. That is the development of the testes and the ovaries. It is also influenced by thyroxine. So some other functions are gonadal development, then metamorphosis, then development of brain. And what the NCRT has mentioned are these functions. Did you understand them? Carbohydrate metabolism, lipid metabolism, protein metabolism. You understood the meaning of the word gluconeogenesis? क्या है gluconeogenesis का मतलब? Formation of glucose from non-carbohydrates. ये basal metabolic rate को क्या करता है? Basal metabolic rate मतलब rate of breakdown of glucose, just enough for your when your body is at absolute rest. बराबर है? इसके वजह से हार्ट बीट और कार्डियक आउटपुट कैसे बढ़ा समझ में आया? क्यों? Oxidation of glucose will require more oxygen. Ultimately, what will happen? Heart rate. Yes. Clear, everybody? Now, what are the disorders related to it? Okay. Madam, when we talk about the disorders, what are the two types of disorders we discuss with respect to the amount of secretion?
Hypersecretion and hyposecretion.
Hyper and hyposecretion. Very ठीक. तो जब secretion कम होता है, जरूरत से कम है, तो हम लोग उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Hyposecretion. और जब जरूरत से ज्यादा होता है, तो उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? चलो, hypersecretion. Right? So if there is hyposecretion during childhood, then that results in a condition which is called as cretinism. If there is hyposecretion that is occurring during childhood, then the child is called as a cretin and the condition is called as cretinism. Okay, please understand this now. During pregnancy, if the levels of thyroxine are very low, so the child will be born with the condition of what bachalo? Cretinism. Okay, so what is the main cause of cretinism according to NCRT bachalo? It says that there is hyposecretion of what bachalo? Thyroxine during the time of pregnancy. So don't you think if a mother suffers from hyposecretion of thyroxine. A mother suffers from hyposecretion of thyroxine. The child can suffer from what बच्चे लोग क्रेटिनिज्म, क्योंकि उसके डेवलपमेंट जो हो रही थी अपनी मम्मी के वूम के अंदर, वो टाइम पे डेवलपमेंट के टाइम पे भी क्या थायरॉक्सिन क्या था बच्चे लोग कम. You get my point? Such a child will have stunted growth. Such a child will have stunted growth. The girl in front of Joshi, yeah. ये stunted growth symptom हमने इसके पहले कौन से डिसऑर्डर में देखा था? उसके बाजू वाले मैडम यशुदी, उसके पीछे वाले सारा. स्टंटेड ग्रोथ की कंडीशन हमने कब देखा था? ग्रोथ हार्मोन में जब हाइपोसिक्रीशन हो रहा था. बैठ जाइए. So during childhood, if there is stunted growth, the condition will be cretinism. So cretinism, one of the symptoms shown by the child is what? Stunted growth. Okay. Then there will be mental retardation, low IQ, abnormal skin. As I told you that it influences what? The development of the brain. So it will affect what bachalo? The brain development. So the child will be what? Mentally retarded, and the person will have what? Low IQ. IQ understand bachalo? Intelligence quotients will be less. Okay? अपन बोलेंगे थोड़ा सा मंद बुद्धि बोलते हैं ना, वैसा होगा बच्चा. Okay? It can also cause deaf mutism. Deaf mutism means the child will be deaf and mute. मतलब बहरा और गूंगा. बहरा और बोल नहीं सकता. गूंगा, गूंगा is what? I forgot. मुक्का, मुक्का. Bhera and Mukha. Bhera is what? Can't hear. And that is why the child is Mukha. He can't speak. How do you learn to speak, Vichalo? By listening and hearing. You start speaking. But if you can't hear only, you'll not understand the language. So you can't speak. Like many of my students in the classroom, either they are deaf mute or they don't brush and come. That is why they don't open their mouth. So the child will suffer from what? Cretinism, mental cretinism, including what? Stunted growth, a dwarf, cretin, mentally retarded with low IQ. Other than that, can another the possible symptoms can you think of, bachalo? Such a child will have a low weight or more weight, bachalo?
low weight.
लो वेट. उसका वजन कम होगा कि ज्यादा होगा? क्यों ज्यादा होगा बताओ? बीएमआर कम है तो उसका वेट गेनिंग टेंडेंसी होगा. सो द वेट विल बी मोर. क्लियर? आया ना? दूसरा एक देखिए गोनाडल डेवलपमेंट में भी प्रॉब्लम होगा उसके. एक और चीज हो सकती है बच्चों लोग. सच अ पर्सन हु सफर्स फ्रॉम हाइपोसिक्रीशन ऑफ थायरॉक्सिन, हाइपोसिक्रीशन, भले वो अडल्ट हो या फिर चाइल्ड हो, एक चीज कॉमन होगी, दे विल बी कोल्ड इंटॉलरेंट. ठंडी बर्दाश्त नहीं होगी बच्चों. why ठंडी बर्दाश्त नहीं होगी? कि बॉडी विल नॉट बी एबल टू प्रोड्यूस इनफ अमाउंट ऑफ हीट. सो सच पीपल विल बी कोल्ड इनटॉलरेंट. कोल्ड को टॉलरेट नहीं कर सकते. You got it, everybody? So that is what happens when there is hyposecretion of thyroxine during childhood. What is the name of the disorder I just mentioned? Creatinism. What if there is hyposecretion during adulthood? Okay, guys. Then the condition is called Gull's disease or Mike's edema. क्या कहते हैं इसको? Both the things. Why are you reading Mike's edema? According to the name of the person, it is called Gull's disease. Okay? Or we'll call it as what chalo? Mike's edema. Okay? Now, what will be seen in Mike's edema? Okay? One thing what we have seen is whether BMR be high or low? High, na? Very good. Decide once. Hyposecretion में BMR is high or low? तो high कैसे बोल रहे हैं? डोका है कि ना है? ना है. During hyposecretion, the BMR is going to be low BMR. Daksh, can you tell me few more symptoms? If the person is having a low BMR, what? No. What is BMR? मतलब Siddharth, let him answer. Huh? Don't help him smoke a cigarette. Sit. BMR क्या होता है? I tell you what is BMR, basal metabolic rate. Amount of glucose broken down when? When your body is at absolute rest, just enough for your vital organs to survive. So hyposecretion के patient में क्या होगा बच्चों? BMR low है, weight losing की gaining tendency होगा. And especially there will be deposition of fats below the skin. As a result of which the skin will appear puffy. That is called Mike's edema. It will be puffy appearance of skin. Puffy appearance. You know puffy appearance? गाल गोल गोल होंगे वड़ा पाव जैसे बच्चों. और स्किन के नीचे फैट्स डिपॉजिट होने की वजह से अगर हाथ लगाओगे तो कैसा रहेगा? पूरा बॉडी मऊ रहेगा. पूरा मऊ बोलते हैं ना, Mike's edema, because there is subcutaneous fat deposits. What is the biological word? The subcutaneous, what did I say? Fat deposits. Subcutaneous, sub मतलब नीचे, cutaneous मतलब skin के नीचे. There is subcutaneous fat deposits. बात समझ में? BMR क्या होगा बच्चों? कम होगा. NCERT says that in adult women, it can also cause menstrual cycle to become irregular. In adult females, it can cause the menstrual cycle to become what bachalo? Irregular. Because you have seen that. One point I said it is not there in the NCERT text that I mentioned is it also helps in gonadal development. बराबर है? So along with FSH and LH, which other hormone also helps in gonadal development? बच्चों, thyroxine. So that is why hyposecretion in a female can result into what बच्चों? Can result into irregular menstrual cycle. Okay. Other than that, there is a condition, hyposecretion, which is due to deficiency of iodine in the diet. If a person is having deficiency of iodine in the diet, okay, what will be the repercussions? कि अगर एक इंसान है उसके डाइट में आयोडीन कम है तो होगा क्या? उसके ब्लड के अंदर थायरॉक्सिन का लेवल ज्यादा होगा कि कम होगा बच्चों? कम होगा. बराबर है? The boy inspects the blue one. Are you wearing blue shirt? He give a response. You are alive, right? Ah. So if there is low T3 and T4, tell me, the signals will go to which part of the body? If the levels of T3 and T4 are low T3 and T4 का signals will go to which part of the body? Yes, Veer? T3 T का लेवल अगर कम है तो किसके पास सिग्नल जाएंगे? कौन है जो इस सिचुएशन को करेक्ट कर सकता है? क्या इससे क्या मैं लाउडली hypothalamus. So the signals will go to whom? The hypothalamus. So what will be the response of the hypothalamus? Bolo. It will increase the level of TSH. So that the TSH will act on which gland, bacho? Thyroid gland, and command it to produce more amount of T3 and T4. But is this possible? No. Why is it not possible? Because iodine is low. तो आयोडीन को कैप्चर करने के चक्कर में फॉलिकल का साइज क्या होगा? बड़ा होगा. And now the size of the gland will increase. The gland size will increase, and the gland will protrude out. Protrude out मतलब bulge out. Gland क्या होगा बच्चों? Bulge out करें. आया समझ में? So the gland will bulge out like this, and that condition is called goiter. Rather than the correct word will be simple goiter. क्या कहते हैं उसको?
Simple goiter.
And if this simple goiter is found in hilly regions, it is endemic there. It's called endemic goiter in hilly regions. Endemic मतलब यहाँ पे ज्यादा पाया जाएगा. Hilly regions. Hilly regions मतलब पहाड़ी इलाके जो होते हैं वहाँ पे सॉइल इरोजन की वजह से सॉइल में आयोडीन नहीं रहता. ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट बच्चे वो लोग फिश वगैरह कंज्यूम नहीं करते. फिश इज अ रिच सोर्स ऑफ आयोडीन, तो उनके डाइट में आयोडीन क्या होगा? कम. आया समझ में? डिड यू गेट माय पॉइंट एवरीबॉडी? सो हैव यू एवर सीन अ पर्सन सफरिंग फ्रॉम goiter बच्चों विद अ लार्ज थायराइड? यस. It is more common in which area? Hilly regions, because of deficiency of iodine in their diet. Clear everybody? So should I discuss the hypersecretion? If there is hypersecretion, it results in a condition which is called as Graves' disease, name of a person, also known as ophthalmic goiter. What do you call it? Graves' disease, or is also called as what bachalo? Ophthalmic goiter. In this particular person, yes madam, second last bench, white shirt. Tell me, what will be the effect on the basal metabolic rate? Basal metabolic rate पे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? Yes, प्रतीक्षा, tell me. Increase होगा. तो ऐसे पर्सन का वेट गेन होगा कि वेट लॉस होगा? लॉस होगा. बैठिए. So because of Graves' disease, the BMR will be high, and the person will show what bachalo? Weight loss. Do you agree with these two things? Yes or no? The third thing we can observe is because of hypersecretion, okay, that can be due to you can say a cancer in the thyroid gland or nodulation in the thyroid gland. Even the size of the gland can increase. So the person can show once again the symptom of what bachalo? Goiter. Okay, so you will remember this point. A goiter can be seen during both what? Hyper as well as hypo. Okay, and the classical symptom is that there will be deposition of tissues behind the eyeball. Eyeball है ना, उसके पीछे क्या होंगे? टिश्यूज का डिपोजिशन होगा, जिसकी वजह से आईबॉल विल प्रोट्रूड आउट. आईबॉल थोड़ा सा क्या आएगा? बाहर आएगा. So such a person will have bulging eyeballs. What is the word I am using, bachlo?
Bulging eyeballs.
The NCERT is using the word protrusion of eyeballs. What is the term that is used, bachlo? Protrusion of eyeballs. Did you get my point, everybody? Yes or no? What do you mean by protrusion of eyeballs? Eyeballs will bulge out. This all is seen where, bachlo? In a condition which is called as the Graves' disease. Or the other name for Graves' disease is exophthalmic goiter. Ophthalmic, ophthalmos, your eyeballs. Ex, matlab to bulge out. Okay? So what are the conditions that are according to the NCERT text, bachcho? One is cretinism, Gall's disease, and there is Graves' disease. Gall's disease is due to hypersecretion or hyposecretion?
Hyposecretion.
Graves is due to
Hyper.
hyper. Deficiency of iodine will cause which goiter? Simple goiter. And exophthalmic goiter is due to hypersecretion. It will include the bulging of eyeballs. Don't you think the person who suffers from exophthalmic goiter, उसे classical symptom एक और है बच्चे? Nighttime sweating when sleeping in cold winter nights. सुना मिस, अगर आप थोड़ा लॉजिक लगाओ तो समझ में आ गया रहेगा आपको. ये ठंडी के टाइम पे रात को वो सो रहा है और तभी भी उसका बॉडी में क्या हो रहा है? स्वेटिंग हो रहा है. नॉर्मली होता है ऐसा किसी को? होता है कि नहीं होता है? नहीं होता. क्यों नहीं होता बच्चों? एक तो बॉडी बीएमआर पे चल रही है, ऊपर से बाहर क्या है? ठंडी है. ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट आप सो रहे हो ना बच्चों, बट स्टिल इज शोइंग व्हाट? स्वेटिंग. Yes, Siddhi? Huh? You understand my point? Now, it can also cause heart failures. Remember this point. Hyperthyroidism for a long time can also cause heart failures. Omkar, can you relate the logic over here? How can hyperthyroidism be related to heart failure? Heart को ज़्यादा काम करना पड़ेगा over a period of time. So just like smoking only, बच्चे लोग, your heart muscles will get overworked. Am I getting tired? Huh? You want a massage from me? So that can cause what, बच्चे लोग? Heart failure. आया समझ में आप सबको? So after the functions of T3 and T4, we move on to which hormone? TCD. What is the full form of TCD, बच्चे लोग? It is thyrocalcitonin. That is TCD. Thyrocalcitonin. Right? Yes, Omkar, who secretes thyrocalcitonin? You have two options. The follicular cells or the C cells. C cells. C cells, which are also known as parafollicular cells. They secrete thyrocalcitonin. Let us see the function of thyrocalcitonin. Okay? Now, remember the osteoblast cell in the bone? Remember them, no? Which chapter we have studied them? Tissues. है ना? Locomotion हुआ ना? TC. Just imagine that you just had a meal which had a lot of calcium. Like it would be milk. So, your blood calcium levels inside your blood, the calcium levels, will they increase or decrease? Increase. So right now your blood is showing a lot of calcium, and that condition is called hypercalcemia. What do you call the condition?
Hypercalcemia.
Hypercalcemia. Hyper means more. Levels of calcium are more in your blood. That is called as hypercalcemia. Shall I continue, bachelo? Now, thyrocalcitonin will act on your bone. That is your osteoblast cells. And it will cause the migration of calcium, or the movement of calcium from the blood into your bones. तो जो भी कैल्शियम है आपके हड्डी के ऑस्टियोब्लास्ट सेल्स उस कैल्शियम को पकड़ के किसके ऊपर डाल देंगे बच्चे लोग? बोन्स। जो भी आपके ब्लड के अंदर कैल्शियम है आपके हड्डी के सेल्स उसको किसके ऊपर डाल देंगे? बोन्स के ऊपर। जिसकी वजह से blood calcium levels will increase or will they decrease? Decrease. And that condition is called hypocalcemia. क्या होगा इसकी वजह से? हाइपोकैल्सीमिया मतलब ब्लड के अंदर का कैल्शियम लेवल बढ़ेगा कि कम हो जाएगा? ओके, सो थायरोकैल्सिटोनिन TCT is a hypocalcemia hormone. Okay, अगर ऑप्शन में आता है TCT is a hypercalcemia hormone or a hypocalcemia hormone, it's a hypocalcemia hormone. Why is it a hypocalcemia hormone? Because it causes hypocalcemia. ऐसा अगर नहीं होता तो क्या होता बच्चों? कि जो भी आपने कैल्शियम कंज्यूम किया वो कहाँ पे था? ब्लड में से कहाँ जाता था? यूरिन में, and the calcium would be thrown out. So you want the calcium to be stored in the body, and which is a storehouse for calcium in the body, bachelo? So that is why it will cause the migration matlab transfer, shifting of calcium from the dash to the dash. So the level of calcium in your blood will decrease, and that condition is called as the hypocalcemic condition. Are you getting it? Pakka everybody?
Yes.
Yes or no? Shall I continue? All of you? Then, after thyrocalcitonin, let us talk about your parathyroid gland. So I'm looking at the thyroid gland. This is a thyroid. I am looking at the gland. In which view? Dorsally. You understand a dorsally? So I'm looking at the gland from anterior or posterior side?
Posterior.
आगे से देख रहा हूँ पीछे से देख रहा हूँ gland? पीछे से। किसको? Thyroid gland. So on the thyroid, I see the presence of 4 small glands embedded मतलब धसे हुए within the thyroid. Okay, and what are these glands called? Parathyroid glands. So you understood the location of parathyroid? What are parathyroid glands? They are located dorsally on the thyroid. Embedded मतलब धसे। जैसे केक के ऊपर कैसे अपन चेरी रख के उसको प्रेस करेंगे वैसा। So those glands are called parathyroid. Okay, now is it a pair or 2 pairs of parathyroid? मतलब टोटल कितने ग्लैंड्स हैं बच्चों लोग? 4. What do they release? They release a hormone called parathormone, TCT. PTH. Parathormone. It is also known as Collips hormone. The name of the person, Collip, but not mentioned in the NCERT. So we have to remember PTH. That is parathormone. Parathormone is a hypercalcemia hormone. Okay. So Aditya, can you guess what would be the function of Parath hormone?
Increases calcium in blood.
Increases calcium in the blood. How could it increase calcium in the blood? If the blood के अंदर का calcium level is low, you will say that the condition is hypocalcemia, right? And then there is a bone with cells called as osteoclasts. You remember animal tissues? What can they do? They can dissolve the bone. Bone resorption. Matlab, they will cause the calcium to move from the bones into the blood. So ultimately what happens बच्चों? Blood के अंदर का calcium levels will rise, and that condition will be called as hypercalcemia. So one is helping in bone formation, and the other is helping in what? Bone resorption. Remember this word. What is the word? Resorption. Formation का opposite. Resorption. मतलब it will cause the migration of calcium from the bones into the blood. And here it was causing the migration of calcium from the blood to the bones. As always, दोनों का function exactly opposite. One of them is a hypercalcemia. The other is a hypocalcemia. And both of them together will regulate the calcium levels in your body. Did the class follow this point? Okay. So what is bone resorption? Bone formation or bone dissolving? Bone dissolving. It's called bone resorption. Okay. Now, yes, Rajwardhan. What causes tetany? That is a question for you. From locomotion and skeleton. What causes tetany?
Low concentration of calcium.
Low concentration of calcium. Where? In the blood. Okay? So you tell me. It can be caused due to hyposecretion of which hormone? Between these two, it can be caused due to hyposecretion of which hormone?
PTH.
PTH. Okay, set. Aditi, same question is for you. Parath hormone. Okay, set. Yes, Harsh. तो नाम क्या है? PTH. So, समझ में आया मेरा बात? हम लोगों ने लोकोमोशन स्केलेटल में पढ़ा था ना टीटैनी. क्या था टीटैनी? Rapid muscular spasms. It's called as tetany, and that tetany is caused due to hyposecretion. It is caused due to low calcium, and low calcium can be due to hyposecretion of parath. Did my class follow everybody? Hey, what you do? Yes, Lada Aditi. You are also Aditi, right? With the chashma, yeah, you green shirt. Then what are you? Huh? Zuili. Okay, Zuili, stand up. Okay. Tell me what are the symptoms of ophthalmic goiter?
Protrusion of eyeballs, deposition of fats in the skin.
No, not deposition of fats in the skin. Getting mixed up between the two. First one is correct.
Enlargement of the
Don't be touching.
enlargement of the thyroid gland.
Enlargement of the thyroid gland. One more. BMR.
There will be more, no less, no more,
Okay, what should I choose? More, less, more. What?
more.
More BMR. What is the other name for exophthalmic goiter?
The waves, waves.
Graves. Sit. Gaurav Dubey. Where is Gaurav Kadam? You took your textbook, Gaurav? I've kept it with your columnists. Huh? Take it from her. Now, uh, Gaurav Dubey. What is the other name for myxedema? गैस प्रसन्न क्या तो ध्यान नहीं का लेक्चर में कर क्या रहा है तू वहां बैठे बैठे हाँ क्या बोले थे हमने अभी myxedema के लिए दूसरा नाम बोल बाहर चिल्लाने को बराबर तुम्हारे पास आवाज रहती है मेरे को लगता है तुम लोग है ही ऐसे डिफॉल्ट इंजन तुम्हारी बाहर बराबर चिल्लाओगे इधर ही आवाज जाता तुम लोग का क्लास में बेंडू बेंडू कड़कतो तुमच्या घशात ऐसा बोलता है तुम लोग इधर बोलता है ऐसा बेंडू कड़कला घशात बेंडू हमारे इधर बोलते हैं बेंडू कड़कला हाँ बेंडू कड़कला बेंडू क्या है बेंडू है गर्ल्स डिसीज बता था गर्ल्स डिसीज बट ध्यान दो ना दूंगा भी इधर से सोते रहता है बस अभी चिल्लाने बोलो तो बराबर चिल्लाएगा ये चोगले What is the cause of cretinism? बोलने नहीं आ रहा है क्यों नहीं बोलने आ रहा है क्या प्रॉब्लम हो आपकी बोलने में हाँ that new girl over there okay so this where काशी वेरी और पता है कलेजी गुर्दा वो सब बोला ही बोला मैंने
So it helps in RBC formation.
ये नया रिसर्च है तेरा यस तन्वी टेल मी तन्वी थोराट हाँ तृप्ति थोराट बोल जोरात ओके when have you heard of thymus tell me हाँ सिखाया हुआ है ducts between lungs बंद कर एनसीईआरटी मैं कुछ अलग पूछ रहा हूँ इसके पहले कौन से चैप्टर में हम लोग ने थाइमस के बारे में सुना था बॉडी फ्लूइड्स में हाँ प्राचीवेल्ट या प्राची तो फिर क्या बोल रही है बॉडी फ्लूइड्स what yes या ओमकार will tell अरे पोषित क्या आत्मकथा वो पढ़ के नहीं बोलने को बोला था मैंने कौन से चैप्टर मैंने थाइमस बोला था और क्यों बोला था वो पूछा मैं किसी को याद नहीं आ रहा देखो आया हाँ क्या गजनी लोग हैं सब सर हाथ पे लिखना चालू करो समझा कि नहीं I told you this during white blood cells when I mentioned about lymphoid organs. For leukopoiesis, formation of white blood cells occurs in the lymphoid tissue. ऐसा बताया गया था आपको ठीक है बहरहाल मतलब we'll continue. Thymus. Where is the thymus located? Above the heart. Above the heart. Above the heart. Who's above the heart? Huh? Above the heart. 100 बार मेरे से हार्ट सुना है, फिर भी हर्ट कर रहे हर्ट. Okay, who is this? Hurt. And the aorta. You remember the aorta? You remember the aorta? What? Yes. Okay. It's a bilobed structure. I have not drawn it yet. It's a bilobed structure. Behind the sternum, between the lungs, ventral to the aorta. Look at the location, what I'm saying. Behind the, what did I say? Sternum. Ventral to the aorta. And between the lungs. Because definitely here who is going to be there, bacho? Lungs are there. Ayana. Yes, Badkar, can you show me the location? Draw. Time has come. Bandu Dada, come. Bandu Dada. Here. Go. This is your position. Go. Sit. Yeah. Shall come? Show me where is your location. Ventral to the aorta. Correct. So it is ventral to the aorta. This cannot be seen. पीछे से जा रहा है ना हट के, तो कैसे दिखेगा तेरे को ये? Yeah, this is the location. Ventral to the aorta. It's a bilobed structure. Did you understand this point now? It's a bilobed structure. What do you have? Just one minute. It's a bilobed structure. How is the structure? Bilobed structure. What do you mean by bilobe? Lobes. Ventral to the aorta. Daksha, ventral to the aorta मतलब aorta के आगे के पीछे? आगे. Good. Why are you laughing, girls? Huh? You think you're smarter than him? We'll keep a quiz now. Huh? Two stand up. Just, huh? 2 versus 1. You two stand up, both of you. Lauren and Hardy, both of you stand up. Behind the sternum, ventral to the aorta, between the two lungs. It's a bilobed structure. It secretes a peptide hormone, a group of peptide hormones. What are these peptide hormones called? Thymosin. क्या कहेंगे इसको? Thymosin. Now चलो. You remember AMI and CMI? Antibody mediated immunity cell में पढ़ा? भूल गया तुम? AMI, CMI किसको याद है? Antibody mediated immunity, cell mediated immunity. Now this you got that. The king. हाँ? पढ़ा है ना? ऐसा बताया था देख. प्राची, what are you searching for now? हाँ? Here. Siddharth, stop being. Okay. Where were we? White blood cells. There is a group of white blood cells called. हाँ, अभी वो पट्टे का गंदगी अभी साफ करने का है, हाँ, लेक्चर में. There's a type of white blood cells called as lymphocytes. Lymphocytes. You remember those lymphocytes which are maturing in the bone marrow? T lymphocytes. Yes or no? Yes. And those which were maturing in the thymus, we call as T lymphocytes. And the B lymphocytes are responsible for production of antibodies right? They help in antibody production, and this antibody will kill the disease-causing agents, destroy it. Okay, and these antibodies are released in your body fluids, and the body fluids are called humor. क्या बोलते उसको? Humor. Humor. In Latin, the word is humor, but the plasma and all is called body fluids. So antibody से मिलने वाला जो आपको protection है, it is called as antibody के through मिलने वाला mediated immunity. Antibody mediated immunity. और जो कौन से सेल से मिलने वाला है बच्चों लोग? T cell से. उसके पहले antibody mediated immunity is also known as which immunity बच्चों लोग? Humoral immunity. And what is the meaning of the word humor? Humor means body fluids. So it is called as humoral immunity or the antibody mediated immunity. The other is bachlo, the T lymphocytes. I must have told you. Oh, you back. J Cutler, pay attention. So who is this? T lymphocytes. There are different types of T lymphocytes. Helper T cells, killer T cells, memory T cells, suppressor T cells. You will study them in your chapter Health and Disease. But before that, who are there? T lymphocytes. They give you cell-mediated immunity. Cell के through body को मिलने वाला संरक्षण is called as cell-mediated CMI. That is cell-mediated immunity. So दो type की immunity आपके पास. कौन सी? AMI and CMI. Okay. So जो thymosin है, thymosins, they help in differentiation of T cells. Okay, what do they help in? Formation of helper T cells, killer T cells, all those T cells. So can I say it is directly involved in your CMI? Yes or no? So it helps in the development of the cell-mediated immunity. It also helps in promoting the production of antibodies. So what are two functions performed by thymosins? It helps in differentiation of T cells. Okay, so it gives you CMI, that is cell-mediated immunity. And it also helps in promoting the production of antibodies. So it helps to give you what bachalo? AMI, that is antibody mediated immunity. Did my class follow everybody? So can I say the thymus has a major role in development of your which system? Immune system. And thymus is an example of a receding endocrine gland. Receding endocrine gland. इसका मतलब as your age will increase, the size of the thymus will decrease. It will atrophy. पिचक जाए. Atrophy. अपन हिंदी में generally क्या बोलेंगे? पिचक जाएगा. In the sense, what I mean is, it will decrease in size and start becoming non-function. Like how a grape, angur, will decrease in size and become a raisin. It will atrophy. So as your age will increase, the size of the thymus will decrease. So when you have reached old age, your immune system, your immunity has become weak. When you reach old age, your immunity has become weak. And what is the reason of your weak immunity? The atrophy of the thymus. बुढ़ापे में आपका थायराइड ग्लैंड टोटली क्या हो जाता है बच्चों लोग? अट्रोफी. प्यूबर्टी तक तो ऑलमोस्ट उसका साइज बहुत कम डिक्रीज हो चुका रहता है बच्चों. Got my point? So by the time it is old age, the thymus का size has become less. So old people को infection के chances ज़्यादा होते हैं. उनका immune system क्या रहता है बच्चों लोग? Weak होता है. आया दिमाग में जा रही है मेरी बात कि नहीं गई? Okay? You want to be pancreas. Okay, guys. Now tell me, when Where is the location of the pancreas? What is the location of the pancreas? क्या बात? Duodenum के साइड में बनाता हूँ. इधर ये ऐसा
Right side. This stomach.
जैसा बताना चाहिए. दूसरों को duodenum के साइड में. Below the stomach, in the concavity of the duodenum. ऐसा लैंग्वेज यूज करना. कॉन्केविटी मतलब कोई डाउट नहीं, ये जो रीजन है ना उसमें. ओके, सो वेयर इज इट लोकेटेड? बिलो द स्टमक, इन द कॉन्केविटी ऑफ द duodenum. Okay, as Sir has already told you in digestion, if you cut the gland, okay, Sumit, it shows the presence of exocrine part, which is almost 98% of the pancreas, है ना? And these exocrine cells, what are they called? Acini. And what do they secrete, bachalo? They are exocrine in function, so they will secrete pancreatic juices, which contain enzymes that help in the process of digestion. So this is endocrine part or exocrine part? Exocrine part. Acini are the exocrine part, which is almost approximately how much, Bachalo? 98% of the pancreas. 98 to 99%. Only 1 to 2% is this. This is the connective tissue, Bachalo. Okay, and within that there are cells, which is hardly 1 to 2%, and that is going to be the endocrine part. And those cells, what are these cells called, Bachalo? They are called islets of Langerhans. Islets matlab like islands. You know what is an island, right? Okay. And they show the presence of which type of cells, which are alpha cells, beta cells, and delta cells. What do alpha cells secrete? Alpha cells secrete glucagon. Beta cells secrete insulin. And delta cells secrete somatostatin. Other than that, there are a few other cells, but not mentioned. Okay. So, what are 3 hormones that are going to be released by the pancreas? Glucagon, insulin, somatostatin. What are 3? Glucagon, insulin, somatostatin. Okay. And there are 3 types of cells. That is alpha cells. Then there are beta cells. And what are the third type of cells, Bachalo? There are delta cells. So you have alpha, beta, and delta cells. Okay? Now let us see how and when they are released. Right now, many of you must be feeling hungry, bachalo. Isn't it? भूख लगा है सब लोग, काफी लोग को भूख लगा हो, हाँ दक्ष को लगा है इसे. Especially if you didn't have your breakfast, your glucose level in the blood will be low, they will decrease. The condition is called as hypoglycemia. What is the condition called, bachalo? Hypoglycemia. What do you mean by hypoglycemia? Low blood sugar levels. Do I need to write it or you remember? Yeah? What is hypoglycemia? You don't remember what? Try to karo. Hypo matlab kami. Glycemia matlab sugar levels. So hypoglycemia matlab low blood sugar levels. Okay? So what's the condition? Hypoglycemia. And the signals will go to which cells? Alpha cells. Okay? And the alpha cells will secrete a hormone. What's the name of the hormone? Glucagon. क्या कहेंगे उसको? Glucagon. Okay? And glucagon will act on your hepatocytes. Who are the hepatocytes, which look? Hepatocytes. Who are the hepatocytes? Liver cells. Okay? Now what will these liver cells do? They will do glycogenolysis. That is breakdown of glycogen into glucose. What is the other thing they'll do? Gluconeogenesis. मतलब formation of new glucose. And they'll also reduce cellular uptake of glucose. As a result of which, ये तीनों reasons की वजह से ये जो लिवर के सेल्स है, स्पेशली पहले दो कारण की वजह से वो ब्लड के अंदर ग्लूकोज लेवल क्या करेगा? बढ़ा देगा. It will start releasing glucose into the blood. As a result of which, the blood sugar will rise, and the condition will be called as hyperglycemia. क्या उसको? Hyperglycemia. No. Did you understand how it increases the blood sugar level?
Yes.
So will you die because of hunger? No. Will your brain get the glucose? Yes. Who will be responsible for it? Glucagon. The blood sugar level will increase. And the condition will be called as hyperglycemia. So glucagon is a dash hormone. Is it a hyperglycemia hormone or a hypoglycemia hormone?
Hyperglycemia.
Why is saying hypo? It's a hyperglycemia. Na? It will cause what? Hypoglycemia. Okay. Now, take the other situation. Like for example, बच्चों लोग you had a heavy meal. जैसे आप शादियों में खाते हैं. शादियों में कैसे खाते हैं तुम लोग? हाँ? So when you have a heavy meal, the blood sugar level will spike. It will increase, and that condition will be called as hyperglycemia. And the beta cells will start the production of what, bachalo? Insulin. And we'll first understand what the inside is trying to tell us. Insulin will act on the two target cells, that is hepatocytes and adipocytes. We know what are hepatocytes. The liver cells are called hepatocytes. And the fat, adipocytes? Yes. What does insulin do over there? Insulin brings about the transport of glucose within the cell. See now, look here. Who is this? Cell. Who is this? Glucose. The glucose cannot enter inside the cell. Okay? So on the cell membrane, there are insulin receptors. As soon as the insulin binds on the insulin receptors, inside the nucleus will bring about the synthesis of proteins called glucose transporters. So now, as a result of which now the glucose will enter inside the cells and it will get utilized. So does insulin help in the breakdown of glucose? Or does it help in the transport of glucose?
Transport of glucose.
So can I say insulin is like a doorbell, ding ding. Then the door will open and insulin and the glucose will enter inside. Did you understand, all of you? So blood sugar levels will increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Increase. How it will increase? As the insulin will allow the blood glucose to enter inside, blood glucose level will decrease. ना? तो increase कैसे बोल रहा है? Decrease बोला तो ना? Bro code. Good. So what it will do on the hepatocytes? It will cause the uptake of glucose by the cells. Ayana, glucose will start entering inside the cells, and it also cause glycogenesis. What is glycogenesis? The glucose can be rapidly converted into what? Glycogen. So your blood sugar levels will decrease, and the condition will be called as hypoglycemia. So insulin is which hormone? It's a hypoglycemia hormone, and both of them are peptides. Glucagon as well as insulin come under the category of peptides. Has sound na sabko? Okay, everybody. So which hormone increases your blood sugar level? Glucagon. And who decreases it? Insulin. So what will happen if there is a deficiency of insulin in your blood? Okay. Blood sugar level will increase. Will your cells get food to eat, that is glucose to eat? No. High level of glucose, excess glucose will be thrown out in your urine. As a result of which your urination will increase, but now this urine will have sugars. So there will be frequent urination and a complex condition which is called diabetes mellitus. Got it? But ये ऐसी बात हो गई कि are you pure vegetarian? Are you? Yes. So Mandar is also pure vegetarian. But we have another Mugdha also pure vegetarian. So I call Mugdha for a dawat at my place. And what I serve her is fish and meat. खाना तो है ना लेकिन वो. But will she be able to eat?
No.
So glucose तो है blood में, लेकिन क्या cells खा पाएंगे उसको? Use कर पाएंगे नहीं. So can I say your cells will be starved? So don't you think they'll start using what? Other sources of energy, like fats and all. So don't you think breakdown of fats will produce ketone bodies in your blood? That will cause ketosis. Ketone bodies in your blood. I hope you got my point. And many times a diabetic patient, his breath smells of acetone. उसके मुंह में से गंदा बदबू आता है एक कीटोन बॉडीज का. Got my point? उसका यूरिनेशन क्या रहता है? ज्यादा. उसका थ्रोट विल बी पार्च्ड, उसको प्यास बहुत लगती है, भूख भी बहुत लगती है. ग्लूकोज जो होता है वो वुंड हीलिंग में भी इंटरफियर करता है, जिसके वजह से उसको जो लगता है वो भी लेट हील होता है. सिमिलरली नर्व कंडक्शन में भी प्रॉब्लम आता है, इसलिए पेरिफेरी पैर वगैरह में दूर लग गया तो भी जल्दी उनको समझता नहीं है, सेंसिटिविटी कम हो जाती है. सो डायबिटिक फुट अगर आपने देखा होगा, इतना बड़ा फुट होता है, बीच में होल्स रहते हैं, एंड दे क्लीन इट डायरेक्टली बच्चे लोग, एंड द पर्सन विल नॉट आल्सो फील एनीथिंग. इट्स अ कॉम्प्लेक्स कंडीशन. इट आल्सो अफेक्ट्स द ब्लड कैपिलरीज इन योर रेटिना, रिजल्ट इनटू ग्लूकोमा, काला मोती बिंदु, many complex conditions. Okay, so nowadays we treat it. NCRT says this complex condition is treated with the help of what which you know? Insulin therapy. Okay, with the help of recombinant DNA technology, we are able to synthesize insulin that we are going to study in biotech, and that is injected to patients. But my point, it's a lifestyle disorder, Vacho. Okay, because of the junk that we eat, because of the sedentary life cycle we have, on usually mobile on the hand, no exercise, no nothing, eating all unhealthy food, one of the major cause of diabetes. Okay, one of the dietitian whom I know, she told me, okay, if your parents are diabetic, you have a 23% chance of becoming a diabetic. Only how much? Rest 77 is in your hand, because genetics only loads your gun, you pull the trigger. Genetics will only load the gun. Your lifestyle will pull the trigger. You smoke, you drink, you eat vada pav, sada pav, burger, pizza. You don't exercise, you don't do this and that. What will happen? You know what will happen? Fats will increase. And don't you think your cell membrane is also made up of cholesterol? So that cholesterol will make the cell membrane more viscous, gaढ़ा, and it will prevent the entry of glucose inside the cell. And your pancreas will keep on producing insulin क्योंकि अंदर क्या ग्लूकोज नहीं जा रहा है. Pancreas will get tired, over exhaustion. समझा? How obesity can cause diabetes? If you are motu, okay, motu मतलब obese motu, खा के, Aditya, like Atharva, okay, you know what will happen? The cell membrane will have more amount of fats around it. So ultimately what will happen? Glucose entry will decrease. Your pancreas will be overworking क्योंकि उनको तो फीडबैक क्या जा रहा है, ग्लूकोज नहीं मिल रहा है. अल्टीमेटली बीटा सेल्स का भी प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है. समझना मेरा बात? तो फिर क्या होगा, आपको कौन सा कंडीशन होगा? कॉम्प्लेक्स डिसऑर्डर, दैट इज व्हाट द एनसीईआरटी सेज. And what is the complex disorder called? It is called as